Hello. Welcome here. I'm going to show you today my latest journal that I made for my mom's caretaker. Her name is Kendra, and she wanted a book that she could collect her family history in. So this is going to be that book. And I chose, since it's a family history, I wanted something with some gravitas. So I chose this beautiful hardbound book. She and her family are from Texas, also with roots in Louisiana. So I thought this was really beautiful. This book is from the late 1890s, and it held transcripts from the Supreme Court of Texas court cases. But the paper and even the book, you can see, were almost just falling apart. So just to give you an idea of how big it is, I think it's about... It's almost 9 inches, 8 3/4, and then I think it's more than 3. Oh no, not quite. It's like 2 3/4 across. So let me show you what's in here. This is the binding. This ticking, a kind of an historic fabric you may recognize. And I'm going to put a list of all the artists whose printables I used. So I'm not going to name everyone in the video, but I'll put it in the list of the description. So here you can see the dictionary page says family. Maybe here you can see it says church. Things that I thought would be meaningful to her. You can stick something in here. It's like a tuck, or she can. And also here, you can tuck a little something in here. This one's too big, but see how it says Texas and Houston and Louisiana, about Black heritage since she is Black. And this is a symbol from the Masons. Her grandfather was a Mason. I think it's called maybe a 4D Mason, but someone who was advanced in the organization. And I wanted to show that throughout the journal. This interesting stamp says, let's see if we can read it. It says 50th anniversary of the trucking industry. Her daddy is a trucker. So even though it's purple, she wanted primarily a mauve journal. So I've gone with neutrals and what I think is a pinky mauve, but so this is pushing it, but still, it's good. Little pocket here with another Mason symbol. And this again is a tuck. She can put something in here. And embossed paper. See, can you see that this is raised? This is African Cuba cloth, a paper image of African Cuba cloth. So that was kind of a design choice and challenge for me, how to work together something of the African roots in together with more modern country American homey roots where, you know, all related to her family. This is her last name. It's a pocket. It's a bag. I'm going to make a pocket for her. Some music and another stamp, Frederick Douglass. Jingle, jangle, something. We'll see it on the other side. Lace. Her mother was a teacher, so I put some things that are kind of from the classroom in here. She can journal on these, and I'm hoping, you know, there may be some things she wants to write about that she doesn't want to be right on the page. And also, you can use these pages like this. You can tape another piece of paper or tape a photograph on here. So even though they're printed, they're meant to still be used. This is actually from Baltimore, which I don't think she has a connection with, but I just thought that the paper was so lovely, and I thought it was neat to blend the different colors of paper, so I went ahead and used it. She can always remove any of this sweet little piece of trim. There we go. Jingle, jingle, jingle. The B, this is stamped on for her last name. This is from a book about Texas, an early passenger train. Some more, the back end of that pocket. She could put something here if she wants, split it. And then paper she can write on. And this I really wasn't sure about. I kind of put it in here just for the fun of it. See all this kind of scrappy quilting looking. but she can always remove it. I thought it went really well with this wonderful, we call that a snippet roll. Yeah. And this is collaged, several different pieces of Kuba cloth. This is probably my favorite thing in the journal, from the cover of an old book I found. Just blank. Here's a little bit more about it. Accordion player. Just beautiful. These are hand dyed with fabrics and rust and fabrics and rust, we'll say. The Mason symbol. Images of Texas. This, I think, is empty. She can fill it with whatever. Oh, it has a beautiful piece of really antique, beautiful thin blue paper. See that? Yeah. I'll leave it in there. That's a little horsey. Again, some places for her to add things. I didn't stuff every pocket. Denim. I figured maybe her daddy wore denim as a trucker. That cool petroleum industry. Texas flag. And here comes Louisiana with the steamboat. Tea-dyed paper. This pink is avocado-dyed paper. And I kind of worked in quilting as a theme here. I don't know that she has a quilter, but I thought it, in her family, but I thought it kind of fit her family's, the feeling of her family, the fact that they're from the country and that they're very hardworking, industrious family. Here's a tag with this cool picture, an oil gusher in Beaumont. So she can write on the back of that. There we go. And this is like a fake map. Thinking of her dad, his work as a trucker. Lots of textiles just to keep it interesting. Again, she can write something here that maybe she wants a little, doesn't want to be popping out right away. A more contemporary stamp, maybe you recognize. This snippet roll is one that I made. There's a little guest check behind here that she can write on, and it's just I thought that kind of went with the trucker's life. I imagine he stopped many a place and received a check like that. Of course, we all have. Fabric, wallpaper, and a little kind of like memorabilia from schools. Older than her mom, but kind of going with the vibe. Beautiful piece of original ledger, July 7th, and I think here 1916. And the paper is just so wonderful, thick and beautiful labor. Yep. Another tag, plain, neutral. This paper, that's vellum. I love the sound of it. I'm just enjoying all these different colors and diversity of types of paper that might tie into history in general and maybe her history. Just somewhat, semi-random pieces of paper, as much for their color as what they say. Some might have significance and some might not. Different kind of pet snippet roll. This one's made of tracing paper. You can put something in there like that and it'll stay. Beautiful poem. This is so... The stars that shine across the nightly skies and splendor soft of moonbeam crown are not as sweet to see as your dear eyes neath lids of lovely brown. Originally written in French, and this is from that book about African-American history in Louisiana. I don't know, did they call it African-American or did they call it black? Shucks, maybe they called it... Black. They called it black. Black history. Yep. And then this is a fun tag where she can write back here, but, I bet you her grandmother or someone in her family at some point sewed, and a really old piece of trim that a friend gave me. So fun to work these things in to journals for others. Nostalgia. Here we go. Supreme Court of Texas, 1871. All the way back to a stagecoach. And then behind here, a couple more tags. They're kind of tight, but they come out and you can put them back in. You can write on the back. This stamp says Wildlife Conservation. some more tags. It's when I stitched a little bit. And from that snippet roll and the mason symbol. This trim is from a shirt of my mother's that I tore up so I could use in journals. I thought it would be a neat piece to put in the journal since it connects us all. Yeah, this is, I guess it's a piece of scrapbook paper. This is cool, the Houston Ship Channel. Way back, way back. It sure doesn't look like that now. And vellum, I made this envelope out of some, I was thinking was mauve paper. So it has that neat crinkle. And put a piece of tea-dyed paper in it that she can write on. And here's a little pocket. These are 3 wishes. And she can take this out and replace it with whatever she wants, or she can leave the bee in there for her family initial. These cool die cuts. I have a machine where you can kind of press a die through and it'll make these cuts. And I made this flower out of a piece of paper I had collaged on. Bessie Coleman, another view of Texas. This one's looking like the hill country. A train in Texas, a little deer. Some fabric dyed in that rust dye. Kind of a way of antiquing things at home, a DIY way. This beautiful tea dyed with a placemat or some type of lace on it. Yeah, and the blue bonnet's got to have that. Up from that old book, The Capital of Texas. Yep. See some pattern paper back here. So fun to work in all the different types of paper and maybe bring back different memories of different people and different times. This one's cute. It's got a little, it's like a soda label. And then thinking of her mother. And like I said, these can all be written on the back. Yep. This is Thurgood Marshall. Beautiful. Little stenciling. Her family has done some work with these types of white fences, so I wanted to get a picture of that, looking like the Texas countryside in here. Getting a little modern here. I couldn't resist. I felt like I wanted a little color in here. And then she has a grandmother, I believe, who was part of the, oh my goodness, it's called the Order of the Eastern Star, I think. And this is a piece of artwork, a symbol that they use in their organization. Another neat picture from that book. This is scientists in Louisiana at Southern University in A&M College in 1904. And I thought it was so cool because they are black. And I don't know how many, I don't have a lot of pictures of black people in academic environments this far back. I thought that was a neat part of the history. Okay. And a bunny. Another stamp and an envelope. This one has something in it. Some paper. Yep. A library stamp. Some extra writing paper on the back. Beautiful fabric. You can write on here where I've sewn the lines on. She can. One last big pocket here. And that's it. That's the journal. So my first time to do this kind of hidden spine in a hardbound. Well, it's not my first time. It's my second time. But this was a big book, and I really spent some time thinking about how to do it and make it strong. And I feel good about it. So this one's for you, Kendra, with a lot of love.